It's Chance and Fallon taking the stage. Deep dives ready to engage. Conversations that spark the soul, where stories unfold and make you whole. The Chance and Fallon show's the place to be. Talking about the world and what we need to see. Tune in now, don't miss a beat. Articulation Media's got you on your feet.
Welcome to the Chance and Fallon Show.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine someone whose life, well, it spans like 7 decades, right? From Mississippi farmlands all the way to naval vessels out in the South Pacific.
Quite a journey.
Exactly. A man who didn't just live through history, but kind of became this living archive of wisdom. That's who we're diving into today. Dr. George C. Jefferson Sr. and his really incredible memoir, A Peek into the Life of Slack.
And it's not just any memoir, is it? The way it came about is fascinating.
Right. It was published with help from bepublished.org, September 2025. But it's nonfiction dictated, like all in one go, just one powerful sitting.
A conversation with his daughter, basically.
Yeah, that turned into this legacy. So you've got Dr. Jefferson, Mississippi born, U.S. Navy veteran, gospel singer, real community father figure. And now people know him online as Granddaddy Google.
That's quite the nickname.
Isn't it? So our mission today really is to pull out the most important nuggets, the key insights from his journey. We want to understand how this peek into the life of Slack gives you, the listener, a kind of shortcut to understanding resilience, family, faith, just how to live a purposeful life.
Well, what's truly remarkable about this source material isn't just the sheer range of his experiences. It's how his personal history, even the moments that seem small or ordinary, offer these really profound universal lessons.
Yeah.
You're not just getting a biography here. It's more like a masterclass in navigating life with, well, grace and strength. We'll see how challenges became foundations for resilience and how his spiritual insight just weaves through everything. You'll find those aha moments connecting his life to yours.
And he starts right off with something really remarkable, something that just grabs you. He claims he remembers being a baby.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Think about that. Only 6 weeks old, he says he had whooping cough. And the doctor, a white doctor, apparently gave no medicine, no hope.
Yeah.
Basically said, babies this little don't survive whooping cough.
That's bleak.
Incredibly. But then his mama steps in. He calls it a powerful intervention. She made homemade horse mint tea, and he absolutely credits that tea with saving his life.
Horse mint tea. Interesting.
He really emphasizes her wisdom, how country people back then had these effective natural remedies, pine top, mullein for colds, flu, even pneumonia.
That detail about the memory at 6 weeks, and especially his mama's action, it's incredibly powerful. But what really stands out to me isn't just the memory itself, though that's amazing.
What is it?
It's his instruction, his takeaway from it. Treat babies like they can hear everything, like they can feel everything. That challenges how we often think about early development, doesn't it?
It really does.
He's basically saying empathy, connection, maybe even the will to survive, it's all forged right there in those first, most vulnerable moments. That a baby's world is way richer, more impressionable than we might think. Makes you wonder how much of our adult resilience gets laid down then.
That's a fantastic point. Changes your whole perspective on infancy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it shows how early his lessons in survival started. Because just months later, still an infant, like late 48 or early 49, he faced another huge challenge. A devastating ice storm.
Right, the ice.
He describes the longleaf pines just snap and crack, crack. He says it sounded like the trees were crying out. It's such a vivid, almost cinematic image.
It is. And the aftermath. The family's barn collapsed, crushing their cows. I mean, that's an immediate threat to their survival right there.
Totally. But what's key is the family's response. He says, my people didn't run. They went to work.
Yeah.
They grabbed axes, lifted boards, pulled them cows out one by one. We didn't leave them to die under what crushed them. We dug them out. It wasn't just physical work, it felt like defiance against despair.
Exactly. Defiance and community.
And he says that's why he named the book A Peek into the Life of Slack, because that was the first time he understood that even strong things can fall. But I also remember what happened after. It's not about what breaks you. It's about who comes to pull you out. That's just such a powerful, timeless lesson, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's not just about getting through the storm.
I know.
It's the collective strength to rebuild. Those pine limbs breaking become this incredible metaphor, Not just a physical storm, but life's challenges. And the family's response just highlights the power of human connection, of collective effort. It really makes you reflect, doesn't it, on your own life? When have you seen real strength emerge, not just in enduring, but in that shared will to lift each other up?
So true. And from surviving those early, traumas, really, Dr. Jefferson quickly moves into contributing on the farm.
Yeah.
By 5 or 6 years old, get this, he was already driving a wagon pulled by 2 mules.
5 or 6. Wow.
Yeah. He learned just by watching his dad, observing everything. He calls it, that was my school before I ever saw a chalkboard. Hauling corn, cotton, feed.
What a practical education. And it's striking how he talks about that early responsibility. He says, a child knows when they've been trusted with something real. It changes you. It teaches you responsibility not with words, but with action. It wasn't just chores. It was actual character building.
Totally. And that hands-on learning went beyond the wagon. By 7, he was hunting, learning patience, timing, tracking, all without a gun, interestingly.
Discipline learned through observation and practice.
Exactly. And he learned the unspoken rules of the house, too. Rising early, no complaining, watching your tone, listening to grown folks. He credits his mama's prayers and his daddy's, quiet presence and expectations. That look, he calls it.
The look. Every kid knows that one.
Right. He says, between the two of them, I learned everything I needed to know about being a man. It really drives home how those early experiences, even tough farm work, instill purpose and discipline.
It really does. I mean, his farm upbringing wasn't just labor. It sounds like a masterclass in rhythm, order, quiet strength. It shows how demanding environments can be powerful teachers. It makes you think what unexpected schools in your own life taught you those foundational lessons, maybe outside of classrooms.
That's a great question for all of us to ponder. And speaking of a full curriculum, picture this. A house with 14 children, 7 boys, 7 girls.
14. Goodness.
Dr. Jefferson paints such a vivid picture of growing up in a house full of Jeffersons. He talks about bedrooms stacked like sardines, learning to share space, food, silence, work. It wasn't optional, it was just how things were.
Sounds like a lesson in organized chaos, maybe, and profound interdependence. He mentions the older siblings, especially sisters, acting as second mamas.
Yeah, caring for babies, cooking, cleaning, gardening.
Yeah.
And his mama's presence, commanding the room without raising her voice.
That speaks volumes about quiet authority, right?
Definitely. Calm leadership. Absolutely. And family meals around these long tables, he says, there was always enough. It fostered cooperation, listening, waiting your turn, helping the little ones, giving without being asked. He sums it up perfectly. It was structure. It was love with order.
What's really powerful there is the celebration of knowledge that comes, well, not from books or schools, but from lived experience, from tradition. When he talks about what Mama and Daddy knew, it's not academic knowledge. It's Mama knowing what God put in the soil and how to pull healing from it. Her remedies, the horse mint tea again, pine top, melancha, these weren't just guesses. This was deep inherited wisdom. He says she prayed while she stirred.
Beautiful imagery. And his daddy, the quiet strength, up before dawn, showing love by doing, fixing things, sharpening tools, splitting wood. Dr. Jefferson says one look from him could straighten out your spine. Their combined rhythm, he says, made a whole world for us, a world with food, music, discipline, and love. He calls that knowledge an heirloom, better than silver, more valuable than gold.
It's such a powerful counter-narrative to how we often think about expertise, isn't it? Which usually focuses on institutions. This is wisdom that's rooted, passed down, proven over generations. Mama's remedies, Daddy's example, powerful education building character, dignity. It really makes you ask yourself, in this age of constant information, where do you find your most valuable, deeply rooted knowledge? Is it on a screen or maybe in a story someone shared?
That's a critical distinction. Now, okay, Dr. Jefferson's world expanded beyond Hazelhurst. His journey took him out to sea with the Navy, a huge shift.
From the farm to the South Pacific, that's a massive change.
As a young man, far from everything familiar. He learned structure there, being part of something much bigger. And that discipline from the land, it found a new home at sea.
And he talks about navigating being black in the Navy back then, saying he carried himself with discipline, twice the respect, and 10 times the patience, always knowing he earned his place. That speaks to a deep inner strength, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Needing to not just perform, but excel while keeping that inner peace.
Right, despite external challenges.
And he says it was actually at sea that he truly found God. In the quiet, in the rhythm of the waves, feeling carried by something divine. The impact lasted his whole life. Those years in the Navy would shape my discipline. They'd sharpen my silence. They'd remind me how to stay calm in storms, finding calm in overwhelming places.
It connects his personal discipline and spiritual growth directly to his national service. So his Navy time becomes this kind of micro-history of a key American era where personal journeys met these huge national moments. And speaking of huge moments, he witnessed something truly historic out there.
He did. It's incredible. He calls the chapter When Glenn Allen Fell from the Sky. He saw Glenn Allen. We assume John Glenn, right?
Right, John Glenn.
Saw him fall from the sky in his capsule after orbiting the moon, splashing down right near his ship in the South Pacific.
Wow. Imagine seeing that.
He describes it as just pure awe, thinking, here I was, a country boy from Hazelhurst, standing on the deck of a Navy ship, watching a man return from space.
The contrast is just amazing, isn't it? Humanity reaching for the stars, literally.
Yeah.
Yet the astronaut still has to fall back down into something as old and humbling as the ocean. It's a profound paradox.
And the lesson he took. How far a soul could rise.
Yeah.
That moment must have just cemented this sense of boundless potential, even for him, a country boy from Hazelhurst. It really shows that intersection of personal experience and huge human achievement.
It does, and it makes you think, how do those moments of personal awe, even things you just witness, shape your own understanding of potential, of your place in the world? But Dr. Jefferson's story also shifts from these, grand public moments to the very intimate, especially his relationships.
Yes, definitely. It's not just service and history, it's family, love, second chances. He talks very openly about his first wife, Susie. Met her before the Navy, came back for her, mother of his biological children. He acknowledges challenges, but speaks with love, respect. Talks about an enduring friendship. He says, there are lessons you learn from your first love that you carry for the rest of your life. Which is a very, gracious way to look back, isn't it?
It really speaks to maturity and forgiveness. And then later, he met his second wife, Helena, while fishing. He describes her as having a different kind of strength. What's really beautiful is how she helped raise his kids and her own son, and then they adopted a little girl together.
Yeah.
He says that home we made, it was built on second chances.
A truly blended family. Kids, grandkids from different sides, including her grandson and his daughter, born on the same day. They call them twin. He credits Helena hugely, saying she gave love to a child that didn't come from either one of us and taught him that love can come back around. It's just a powerful example of how love can expand.
It really is. The honesty about family complexities, the focus on respect, forgiveness, second chances, that's a powerful lesson right there. And this theme of sort of a higher calling and deep connection, it also comes through strongly in his music.
Exactly. He felt called to it. Says, gospel chose me, it never let go. He joined the Gospel Echoes, a traveling ministry group, sometimes with Helena singing alongside him.
And their purpose wasn't performance, right?
Yeah.
It was ministry.
Right. To break chains, to lift burdens. Can you imagine the impact of that? Seeing, as he describes, deacons cry, mothers shout, silence falls so thick, it felt like the Holy Ghost was walking through the pews.
Powerful stuff. Singing songs like I'll Fly Away, Precious Lord, I've been buked and I've been scorned.
For him, singing wasn't just about ministry. It was memory, part of his purpose. His life's songs, literal and metaphorical, really echo his journey and values.
Absolutely.
What's also remarkable, though, is that even though he describes himself as a high school dropout, Dr. Jefferson later got some pretty significant academic recognition.
Oh, interesting. How so?
He says he didn't chase titles, but life has a way of surprising you when you walk in your purpose.
Yeah.
He was awarded 2 honorary doctorates, a doctorate of divinity in ministry sciences, and get this, a doctorate of philosophy and agricultural theology.
Agricultural theology. That's fascinating, isn't it? How does he explain that one?
He says it's about planting both seeds and sermons. I knew about the land and I knew about the Lord.
That just perfectly sums up the integrated nature of his wisdom, doesn't it? The practical, earthy knowledge side by side with deep spiritual understanding. It kind of challenges our usual definition of expert.
Totally. It shows wisdom comes from many places.
Makes you wonder, where do you see those intersections in your own life? Seemingly different fields coming together to offer new insights?
Good question. Because for him, these degrees weren't about changing who he was. They just confirmed his lived testimony. Proof that you don't need a perfect background to make a powerful impact.
And that impact is rooted in something he calls the quiet strength of a black man, a concept from his father's example and his own life. It's a redefinition of strength away from loudness towards inner resilience, discipline.
That phrase, the quiet strength of a black man, it just lands, doesn't it? He talks about carrying weight. Strength in your silence. Strength in how you walk into a room that wasn't made for you and still stand tall. But he's quick to add, quiet doesn't mean weak. Don't get that twisted. But what really hit me was his honesty about the endurance needed for that kind of strength.
Yes, the biting the tongue, praying through anger, maybe burying dreams for your kids, proving yourself over and over. He says, still, I held my peace. My strength wasn't in how loud I could be. It was in how steady I could remain.
It's such a powerful reflection on maintaining integrity within, well, often difficult structures.
It truly is. But thinking about that, does he ever discuss maybe the cost of that quiet strength? Was holding his peace ever a burden, or did he ever wish he could express things differently?
That's a really important question. He doesn't explicitly spell out the emotional toll in the book, not in those terms. But you feel it implied through the sheer necessity he describes for that quiet strength.
Right. He links it to raising his kids, teaching them to hold their heads high, protecting his daughters, loving his wife through hard times. The source of it all, he says, was praying quietly, sometimes under my breath, while fixing a broken gate. It points to this private spiritual fortitude that let him carry those burdens, and ultimately he feels it shaped me into the man I was always meant to be.
That's a profound way to look at it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the greatest strength is in what's not said, in that steady presence. And he translates this wisdom directly into parenting. He talks about how I raise my voice in my children, comparing it to tending a garden.
A beautiful analogy. His philosophy was about being present, watching, watering, talking, pulling weeds, knowing when to push, when to pause.
And teaching them key things. Know God, be proud of who you are, speak clearly, shake hands firmly, look people in the eye, and crucially, never apologizing for their origins.
So important.
And it was really this desire to share his life's garden of wisdom that led to the book. His daughter just asked him one day, just talk from the beginning. And he admits, I was waiting on somebody to ask. His hope for legacy.
Yeah.
That he's planted something in these children that I pray will keep growing long after I'm gone.
It really exemplifies that power of purposeful parenting, passing wisdom down. And his legacy isn't just his family. He's known as Slack to close friends, right, since childhood.
Yeah.
But now he's this modern-day granddaddy Google on TikTok to younger folks, sharing natural healing remedies like mullein tea, getting tens of thousands of views. It's ancient knowledge finding new life online.
Isn't that fantastic? Bridging tradition and tech. And he's still working. Contractor, project manager, construction, landscaping. He's actually finishing 2 big residential projects for relatives right now. Still living that purpose.
He really is. That granddaddy Google thing shows how deep knowledge stays relevant, just finds new ways to be shared. It kind of prompts you to think, how are you preserving and sharing the wisdom you've gathered? Through words, actions, maybe new platforms?
It's a challenge for all of us. Dr. Jefferson really distills his 77 years into these powerful lessons from a long life. And they're incredibly practical. Gratitude. You don't have to understand everything to be grateful.
So true.
Release. You can't fix everything, and you shouldn't try. Learn to pray and release.
And rest. Not just sleep, but the kind of rest where your spirit lets go of worry. And forgiveness. He calls it fuel, saying, carrying hate is like drinking poison. These aren't just life ideas. They feel like hard-won truths you can actually use.
Definitely. And he reminds us, hold people close. Don't wait for funerals to say what needs to be said. Also, eat what fuels you, meaning not just food, but what you watch, listen to, who speaks into your life.
Totally.
And the cornerstone for him, walk with God, because if you ain't got God, you ain't got peace. It feels like a blueprint for a fulfilling life, really, no matter where you start from.
Precisely. The accessibility, the practicality of these lessons is what makes them hit home. They come from a life lived fully, reflecting deep understanding of people and, well, spirit.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for us? We've journeyed with Dr. George C. Jefferson Sr., from babyhood memories of horse mint tea and ice storms in Mississippi,
Right.
through Navy service, seeing an astronaut fall from the sky, his powerful ministry with the gospel echoes, and now being this wisdom-sharing granddaddy Google, his life captured in a peek into the life of Slack. It's just this incredible testament to resilience, quiet strength, and the lessons from family, faith, the land. And he's still living it. Purpose, joy, reverence, even planning those big building projects for family.
Indeed. Dr. Jefferson's life is a powerful reminder that every story matters, every life holds wisdom. And his final chapter, Prayers for the Future, for you, me, for all of us,
Yeah.
that directly connects him to you, the listener. It bridges time, experience.
Yeah.
He ends with an amen and actually promises this is just the first book. Says this world traveler has plenty more to share. And you can find the book, A Peek into the Life of Slack, published by bepublished.org in September 2025. Its out worldwide ebook is $9.95, paperback 19.95 cents. Paperback 19.95 cents.
And like Dr. Jefferson himself said so wisely, may this book, this moment, serve as proof that no story is too small, no memory too faint, and no life too ordinary to matter. So maybe a final thought for your own reflection. What unwritten stories do you carry inside you that if you shared them could become a powerful legacy for someone else?
It's Chance and Fallon taking the stage. Deep dives ready to engage. Conversations that spark the soul, where stories unfold and make you whole. The Chance